Good afternoon, my friends. Anthony Lamacchia here, broker owner of Lamacchia Realty, and I'm excited to be here with you to talk about our 2020 South Florida Year in Review report. We just completed it last week. Many of you may know, and some of you might not know, we're one of the largest companies up in New England, and we are known for putting out a tremendous amount of reports. We do all kinds of housing reports throughout the year, every single month. And we opened up down here in South Florida in the fall. And this is our first very extensive housing market report where we went over Palm County, Broward County, and Miami-Dade. I'm going to walk you through it. We put the report out the other day. I'm going to take you through, talk to you about some of the highlights. One of the biggest things to mention is the fact that home prices across all three counties, if you were to just mix condos and single families, home prices are up 15%. Okay, so all those people back in April when the pandemic hit that said South Florida is going to end up back where it was 10 years ago, or housing is going to go down again, or wait for foreclosures, they've obviously been proved to be wrong. And I think that that's going to continue. So what I want to do is share on the screen, like I do at home. I'm going to share on the screen the housing report right from our website, where we went through a whole different bunch of things: homes sold, inventory of homes for sale, homes pending, and we also broke it down among the three counties. So if you see here, what we talked about was total home sales, and you can see what happened right in this area. I'm actually going to go to a full screen so that you can see it even better. But you can see what happened right after the pandemic hit. Home sales went down dramatically. Well, that's not surprising. And this is for Palm County, but it's really the same across all counties. And I'm not going to bore you with going through the details of each and every one of them. But what I am going to do is just show you how it dipped at the height of the pandemic. I guess you could call it the height, I should say, when it first hit. And then home sales went up dramatically after that. And look at these counties. You look at Broward, you look at Palm above, each and every one of them, you can see that home sales, once we got to about August, they were up every single month. And they weren't just up by a little bit, they were up by a lot. They were up tremendously. Now I go down here to Miami-Dade County, and you can see the same exact thing happen. So again, right now at this moment, we're talking about total homes sold. Now, Miami-Dade, what I mentioned down the bottom right in here is I talked about how Miami got hit the hardest. Miami was the one place that single family sales were down about 0.5%, and condo sales, and again, this is overall sales, not prices, were down about 7%. But there's a reason for that. It doesn't mean the market's falling apart. It's because Miami is very much influenced by a lot of international buyers, people coming in from South America, Europe, and other places, and that had an impact on the overall amount of sales. Now, if we go into the counties and we look at pricing, take a look at this in Palm County right here. Single families, 2019, you can see dark blue, pretty flat throughout the year. If not, it even went down a little bit, really, if you look at this graph. Then you go to 2020, when you're talking about light blue, and you can see that they went up a real good, strong amount. I mean, started the year right around 600,000, ended the year, the average price over 800. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that each and every home went up that much, but it does mean that the average drove it up, and that's because a lot of the higher end homes were selling as well. Now you look here at Broward County, same thing. You can see clearly that single families went up. And if you look at condos, they were pretty flat. And the same thing I should have pointed out for Palm, condos weren't up quite as much. Now what's interesting is up north, okay, I talked to you about how we're based in Boston, right outside of Boston. Condos got hit hard. New York City, condos got hit very hard. Down here, condos stayed about flat as far as pricing goes. And that's because I think this is a destination. This is a place that people like to go to get away, to go on vacation, things like that. And that's what drives people down to these areas. So unlike up north, where there was somewhat of an exodus of people just leaving, it isn't like that. they were leaving there and coming here. And I also noticed the same in the southwestern part of the country. So you folks here in South Florida are somewhat protected by the fact that this is an escape. This is where people want to be, and you should be excited about that if you're a homeowner. If you're a buyer, it obviously can be very frustrating because there's simply not enough for sale, okay? And I'm going to talk about that right now. If we look at the inventory of homes for sale, and I break it down by county and by single family or condo, you can clearly see here that 2020 is the turquoise color, and look what happens to inventory. Starts the year around 5,000 single family homes for sale in Broward County, ends the year at about 3,000. That's a dramatic drop. Then you look at condos, it's not very much different. Again, because condos stayed flat. More people were interested in owning and buying single families to have their own space, and less people were interested in shared spaces. But again, we noticed that dramatically up north, not so bad down here. Now we go down a little bit further and we get into single families in Miami. Started the year with just over 6,000 single families for sale. Ended the year with probably 3,800. That's a dramatic drop in the amount of single families that are available. Then you look here at Palm County, same thing, drop off in single families. So a lot of the same story among the three counties, but it's pretty clear that Palm did the best. When we go back up, I'll show you the pricing changes in the three counties. I only touched on those. I'm going to go deeper, but I'll be able to show you that. Now take a look at this, homes listed. This is a report that's always very interesting to buyers and sellers, because it really is a telltale sign of what exactly is going on in the market. Why is there less homes for sale? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is there's more demand. So buyers are scoffing up properties left and right. Not only you had the normal amount of buyers that are coming down here buying every year and locals buying, but once the pandemic broke and we got away from, flight restrictions and all different crazy things that went on for a period of time there, many people came down here to buy their home away from home or to relocate altogether, especially now considering that we're in a society that working remotely is much more accepted. In addition to those factors that I just mentioned that point to demand, there is also the fact that less people are listing. So if you look what I said right here, the amount of people that listed homes for sale was a lot less. I think it says 3 or 4%. And if you look at the graph, 43,000 homes listed for sale, or 44,000 in Broward County compared to 45,000 and a half last year. Same thing with Miami-Dade, same thing with Palm. So you have more demand, less supply coming on the market. And what does that do? That drives prices up. And that's exactly what's happened here. You look at pending sales are up. Those are sales where where contracts are accepted. So what I want to do is scroll up and show you. Right here's my 2021 outlook, and I'm going to get into that in a few minutes. But what I want to do is take you back up and take a closer look at pricing, because I think I went over that a little bit too quickly, and I know that people are always interested in what's going on in home prices. Let's see here. Well, we can start at Miami-Dade since that's the closest. Okay, single family prices in Miami-Dade County right down here, up 22%. Condo prices were up 7.9%. So that's a significant increase in pricing. Single families in Broward County up 14%, says that right there, and condos up 11%. Then you go to Palm County, 24% and 9% respectively. So these are definitely large increases, and it certainly points to the fact that the demand is there. Buyers want to buy, okay? There's not enough sellers that want to sell, and that can be frustrating for buyers. If you're someone who's looking to buy down here in South Florida, if you're simply looking online like every other buyer is doing, it is likely that you will not find what you're looking for. You need to be working with a realtor. You need to preferably be working with a realtor that has access to properties before they're listed. Hopefully they're at a company that keeps lists of properties before they're listed. We certainly do, and we share those out among our agents, and that helps our agents get their buyers an inside track. We have a whole Lamakia Link system where we match buyers and sellers, and we're already producing buyer and seller leads here in South Florida, and we're starting to match people up and get our buyers some advantages. Now, let's talk a little bit about 2021 and what I expect for the market. I will tell you without question, you will see prices increase again. I'm not sure it'll be at the same 15 to 20% extent as it was in 2020, but it will probably be something similar. And if it's not, it'll be only a little less. And that is because the demand is there and the demand is significant. The good thing that's going to happen this year, especially when we get past about April, is you're going to see more inventory come on the market, okay? As snowbirds leave and go back up north, people will be more comfortable listing their homes. As the vaccine comes out, people will be more comfortable listing their homes. So all of those people that were holding off on listing over the last year, hence why there was less homes listed, hence part of the reason there was less inventory overall, all of those people will be listing their homes. Oh, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. So you will see homes listed increase, but there is such a hangover in buyers, okay? Such an incredible hangover of buyers that are still looking for homes that they're going to eat them up. And that's why I am certain that you will see home sales this year in 2021 in all three counties for condos and singles. You know, think of Miami was down for condos. Singles was down a little bit as well. You will see all three counties, singles and condos, sales will be up. There's no question. Prices will be up. I guarantee it. Imagine when the international market starts to come back. I mean, I heard something earlier this week that there's some type of COVID variant now in Brazil, and there's travel restrictions that are being put in place on South America. South Florida, Miami is obviously a hub and a place that many people come through from South America to get here, to spend time here, whatever. So that's going to be kind of a rain on the parade for a little while, but that will change. It's not going to stay this way forever. Hopefully by summer, there'll be more of a sense of normalcy. More buyers will be coming in. That is what I expect. And you will see more and more people buying homes. And you'll see more and more sellers listing homes. And that's what will accelerate the market to have an even bigger year in 2021. So if you're a buyer, I understand if you're frustrated, but try to have a little bit of patience for a few months. This is not going to last forever. You are going to be able to find a home. If you're a seller, I think you really ought to think about listing your home. You know, you look at all these sellers that are listing, okay, which isn't enough. I say all these, but the truth is it's not enough. Realtors are being safe. Realtors are keeping homes safe. They are making sure that people wear masks. I know the agents in our company here at Lamakia Realty, we're certainly doing that and making absolute certain that the realtors down here in South Florida are adhering to guidelines and safety protocols to keep our sellers, to keep themselves, buyers safe. That's important to us. So if you're a seller, you know, you really ought to reach out and think about listing your home if that's what you want to do. I also want to say that I know there's an abundance of sellers who are scared to list their homes for sale because you're looking online and you're not finding what you want. And you're saying, well, I don't want to sell because where am I going to go? Well, I have news for you. There are ways to get around this. There's things that we can put into contracts to protect you so that you don't have to just move out. We can make sales subject to seller finding suitable housing. There's certain disclosures we could put on MLS if necessary. We never want to have a client that doesn't have anywhere to live, and our agents will be very, very careful about that. But you need to reach out, raise your hand, talk to them, and they'll go over this with you and provide you with some assistance and explain how you can get around these kinds of things and get you exposed to more properties than you're getting now. If you're simply looking on Realtor.com, Googling for properties in neighborhoods, looking on Zillow, you're not looking in the right places. You're looking where everybody's looking. And I'm not saying you shouldn't look there, but you can broaden your horizons, and you can do that by talking to a realtor. So like I said, sellers, think hard about listing your home if you'd like to sell, because right now things are very hot. We're putting properties on, you know, right here. I'm obviously overlooking beautiful Fort Lauderdale right now, but we just listed a property earlier in the week about 45 minutes north, and they got a ton of offers on the property. Another agent in our company listed something a little further south, closer to Miami, ton of offers on the property, selling right away, and they're giving the seller time to find what they want. Okay, these things are happening. So, but you have to raise your hand and give us a chance. Okay, so that concludes my real estate update, my first ever video real estate update here in South Florida. We are going to make sure to, oh, I can see that we already did that. We posted the link to the extensive report that I just showed you in the comments. Take a look at that, refer to it. Let us know if you have questions. We're happy to help and happy to answer those questions. Thank you very much, and happy home selling and happy home buying.